Like, I think at this point, as long as Julius and fucking Emlu, I'm good. Everyone else is on the table, go ahead. That blue-haired bitch, take her. I don't even know who she is. You know the amount of fucking muscle you must have in your hand alone to be able to clench with just 2 fingers, well 3 I guess, while simultaneously scratching your ass because you're that bored? That's insane. The more you examine him, the more ridiculous this becomes. Doing it in flip-flops, the flip-flops aren't even coming off somehow. How do you tell someone in Season 1 of ReZero that chopsticks are going to potentially kill best boy Julius? They're going to be like, why is Julius of all characters best boy, and why the fuck are they fighting with chopsticks? Did it jump the shark? Oh baby, it did anything but that. It got better. Hey Sub, you may want to fucking break your face. Ooh, never mind, hold up, you don't have to kill yourself yet. Give me a second. Well, now Subaru is going to have to get involved. He did the titty twister 10,000. Whoa! Pervert repellent works every fucking time. What the hell is going on over here? Man, she really doesn't. Oh my god. Yo, you guys want a room? Did I download the wrong ReZero this week? That's your #1 homeboy. Julius, you are literally in the top 5 in the harem right now. Do not die on me. Oh, thank God. Basically, we need to put Julius in a thong and distract him with his sex appeal. Honestly, a little makeup, we could turn him into a femboy. I think it would work in our favor. You're not leaving this harem without my approval! And it's funny, too, because unfortunately for him, he returns by death, so even if Subaru dies, we're coming right back to make sure Julius can't escape us. The parallel of Season 1, Episode 13, and what currently happened with Julius in Season 4, Episode 6 is masterclass writing and directing that I gotta give a round of applause to. Of course, those were some of my highlights of the full live reaction. Catch that over on Patreon, but we have to deep dive this episode because this was insane. Julius has been one of the more interesting characters in ReZero for a hot minute. And it's crazy, and as I always say, if you tell a ReZero fan in Season 1 that Julius will be one of your favorites, and honestly one of Subaru's best boys, they would laugh in your face. Because yes, over time we learn Julius at face value was trying to protect the dumb son of a bitch from making a fool of himself and getting himself killed. You aren't a knight, we're trying to protect you. But I think what's so brilliant is how it became so much more because of this episode, right? By starting this episode off with that reminder of Episode 13 in Season 1, when Subaru essentially made a laughingstock of himself, right? Showcasing how everyone believes they are the main character until someone stronger comes around. And Subaru in Season 1 learned that the hard way, right? No matter how much he decided to throw himself into these situations, there were times where he had to take a step back and let other people lead, and he had to allow people to be in control that weren't him. And while Subaru is definitely RMC in this show, at the end of the day, he is not perfect. There are always going to be people stronger than him. And one of the best parts of the past 2 seasons of ReZero is watching Subaru grow past his more act first and think later kind of mentality, and instead actually has relied on people more and more. That's why, well, yes, when he endlessly loops and suffers, he does get a little paranoid, he gets a little jittery. But when you compare how his actions were now that he has proper connections built, so even if he does loop back, he doesn't have to continuously try to convince the girl he loves, I'm someone you know and actually care for as well. So it doesn't fuck with his head quite as much. But the way that they ultimately made Julius suffer Subaru's fate, that's really what it boils down to. Julius had to learn the hard way this week, that as much as he thinks he can do it, that he is the knight that has to defeat people, in this case, sometimes you have to take a step back and realize you aren't the main character. There is always going to be someone stronger than you, and the crushing weight of reality setting in for him, making him understand that unfortunately, things do have to change. I have to approach this differently. And the way that they've already been friends up to this point, neither one of them would probably properly admit to it prior to this episode, and hell, maybe even after this episode they wouldn't. But this is the moment that I think really made them boys. That they said, you know what? You and me, we aren't so different. And I think it's really cute because, well, what Julius has said up to this point about how he was kind of trying to protect him and trying to, wake him up so he didn't get himself killed, humbling him so he doesn't make a bigger fool of himself. Well, that is all objectively true. At the end of the day, Julius might actually be Subaru's first love, and I think we need to accept that because when you really think about it, right? By the time we finish this episode, he actually thinks about that scene, and rather than thinking about it in the way he has about trying to protect him, he actually was like, you were kind of cool back then. That's really funny because I think at this point, Julius has a real shot at winning the harem wars when it's all said and done. But jokes aside, like, this literally is just such a beautiful moment, and it's that type of hidden detail that you're not gonna necessarily pay attention to. Even though they did do the flashback, these are the types of details that I think often people overlook. It's one thing to just be like, okay, you know, Subaru helped him and he learned to lean on Subaru. But when you really think about, and you know, a lot of season 1 is really ingrained into my mind just because it's such an impactful anime season. Season 2 and season 3, I might need a little bit of a refresher, but season 1 is just that it's such an impactful anime season to me that a lot of big moments, not even necessarily death moments, live rent-free in my head. Even without these flashbacks, I'd probably be thinking about a lot of this, but with them, it just really highlights just how things come full circle in ReZero in a way you don't often see in other isekai. And why, yes, I mean, the big moments that will get people to talk the most will be when Subaru or someone dies. Every single time. Shock value will always be the driving factor in clicks and discussion. But in my humble opinion, this is the moment that shocked me the most. Really bringing it full circle. I mean, I am going to laugh my ass off over the concept of Julius essentially going to a Pokemon Center and once healed up, went back to the gym he was severely underleveled for. That is a very funny thing, but overall, absolute masterclass in directing and parallel play between Subaru and Julius. I think Julius's last name is dumb as shit, but other than that, he's fucking best boy. Now, I do have to admit, Emilia ultimately ending up defeating the Sword Saint the way she did. I mean, obviously, she pushed him back and everything. The fact that he decided to pull out the, like, sexual harassment no jutsu because it would work on any other woman, and M being the innocent goober she is, not really understanding, like, oh yeah, you touched me, but why would that be, like, you to her, it's like, oh yeah, you touched me. Like, there's no difference, right? This scene of seeing Subaru having to be restrained by his little sis. Yeah, she might be older than him, but that's his little sis. Knowing damn well, if she doesn't, Subaru will get himself killed. M is pondering why that was an issue. Like, she truly can't, no matter how she spins it in her head, you just touched me. Like, there's nothing weird about this. Like, why would that, I'm gonna have to really think about that. A month from now, she's going to realize and be embarrassed. And then the sex pass is like, anyway, you want to get a drink later. What a fucking hilarious ending. Now, it's unfortunate because only she gets to pass. Yes, she moved him. We're all thinking, oh, if M wins this, we're all climbing the tower. And then he's like, okay, who's next? We're probably going to have to kill him if we actually want to. But you got to love this, right? Because M is such a goober. And I love her, man. Absolutely understand the infatuation Subaru has for her. But it's the fact that she's not just like this innocent little girl who needs to be protected or she has the power of friendship on her side. Like, she is doing some pretty crazy shit during this fight. She's basically out here summoning large amounts of weapons, running, forming, slicing, that breaks, and then she summons a bunch on the ground so she can rapidly grab and attack. Super cool, and honestly, I thought the production was top tier. There was plenty of moments I was rewinding just to be like, oh, like, I want to see that again. It was that good. I think it's very easy that if there's not a lot of, like, colorful explosions happening, people are like, oh, it's an okay fight scene, but it could have been better. And honestly, to me, it kind of comes across as, like, we need jingling keys constantly to, you know, appreciate good animation. Because she was fucking cooking. And honestly, it was a pretty hilarious way to end. And honestly, given that he isn't really that serious of a character, like, yeah, he's serious towards old Julius, but otherwise, like, you know, I thought it was a pretty funny way to defeat. And to be honest, at this point, it does feel like we need to kill him in order to properly, because there's no way everyone's going to go down 1v1ing him. Like, if the season was 30 episodes, maybe, so I'm pretty sure that's what they're kind of planning. Either way, this was definitely the most emotional moment of the episode, and I think will probably be one of, if not the most emotional moments for me going forward. The only thing that might be able to rival it going forward might be the whole blue-haired character. I think they call her Rum or something. I don't know. We haven't really seen much of her, but they seemingly think she's important towards Subaru, so maybe that will hit emotionally. But either way, Julius be best boy. You know what, if Subaru wants to switch sides and make him his waifu, I'd be okay with it at this point. Either way, top tier episode, 10 out of 10 would recommend. And gonna rewatch probably a couple times before next week because it's just that good. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like, share your support, subscribe, ring that bell if you haven't already. Of course, the Patreon full live reactions over there. And you know what? Gotta give those video shoutouts to those patrons because of why I get to do these YouTube videos at all. Alright, so I've got Arcito, Lexan Free, Shadow Gaming, Crizzle Wiper, Connor Reeves, TMG Gaming, Jorid, Jacob McDougal, Sage Narf, JMW, and Skycrow. So I appreciate the support. Please take care and you have a good one.